Consider is a European research project which has been running for about 3 years now, and which aims to explore how civil society organizations are engaged in research. So that's the headline. It's about the role of civil society in research, and particular civil society organizations in research.
It's not just looking at what academicians are doing, but it's also looking at what the public is doing in regards to research or getting involved in research. So I suppose it's an eclectic mix. So you get to know what academics are doing, what researchers can do, what policymakers can be able to do with regards to research and research activities.
Consider it's a research project that's about research projects. So it's trying to look at research and say, how do we get more public engagement through civil society organizations? So we know there are a lot of NGOs and charities out there in society. Can they help researchers to connect with the needs of the public and make sure that research is relevant and leads to innovation that can benefit society? And we're trying to identify how we can make that happen in a better way.
Consider is the way that actual research should be done, social research. It is about research that involves a wider participation, which includes not only academics, but also civil society organizations, which are very specialized groups from society that can enrich the way that research is being done in the European Union.
It's also extremely important for the funders of these activities, for the European Commission specifically, because much of the research that we've been looking at is financed by the European Commission. So I think it's important that we know what is happening. There's a very poorly understood process of CSO involvement in research, and the research project Consider has helped cast light on a little understood topic. And for my money, that's a valuable thing to be doing.
Well, the idea is that we managed to build a website, so it's really thought as very access and easy to read material. And the idea is to get people interested in any kind of public interest governance inside the research project. So it can be very different kind of people, from the student to industries who are, for instance, industries in environmental stakes, and policymakers, fundraisers, and so on. So it's we are trying to target a lot of different stakeholders, and to make sure that everyone who's interested can understand what we've done and what are the results.
I think the European Commission should use these results in order to set up new research programs that consider civil society organizations in research in a stronger way. CSOs should have should have their say in research, and Consider can show how political decision makers can do that.
Just the richness of value that CSOs can offer to a research project. I think a lot of us that have sort of been working that interface for a long time, felt it implicitly, but we really have hard evidence about the benefits that CSOs bring to a research project. And I think it's really important that we are able to share that kind of information as widely as possible, really, and make sure that all of the research that we do at European level has some relevance or is able to contribute to the wider society.
The most insightful point was to elaborate a typology of different forms of CSO participation in research, where we differentiate between the social forms of interaction and the knowledge production, whether the CSOs are co-researchers, so to say, or in a specific distance to the research program itself.
I hope that researchers, first of all, will own the results to help them to open maybe more the research projects. And I hope also that civil society organization will have some tools to participate more in research and feel more legitimate.
Consider and manage to reconcile the theoretical investigation and the empirical findings, but not by doing that mechanically, but doing that in an organized research way with strong methodological tools. This is important because the project has a good grounding now, and the findings are substantial because they are based on the theory, or the social theory, and also the findings from the case studies and the huge survey we had for FP7 projects. These findings are addressed to the policymakers because it is very important how to fund civil society organizations. From practice, we know that civil society organizations usually they don't have funds from their own to participate or to make or to conduct research, as we say. So it is very necessary for policy makers to fund civil society organizations. But the way they should fund them, it's important to take into consideration what we have found in our research, which is that the civil society organizations are not participating research projects by coincidence. They participate because this reflects their social involvement, work category they belong to.
The most important stakeholder in this regard are probably the people who set research agendas, so the people who write research calls and who administer research funding, so the people who actually can tell researchers what to do. And I think the key lesson here is that there are often relatively simple and straightforward things that can be done in order to integrate civil society organizations more effectively in research.